Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome to the European Citiverses Uniting for Inclusiveness and our Project Level Up session. We are hosting these sessions as a sort of a training session for the whole consortium and you also as associate partners. To be aware and to keep you updated on major topics that we think that you can also contribute to, but you need to learn about more. Today's topic is AI, and I will come back more to the details. And first we have some, first slides to go through. Most welcome, and my name is Anna Wennblad, and I'm the project leader of this fantastic project. So let's start with this slide that we have on right now. European Citiverses Uniting for Inclusiveness. And this is our long and fantastic project name. It stands for European is our where. We do this for Europe and to create an awareness and include more stakeholders across Europe. Citiverse is our what. We are contributing to the EU plans and objectives by building this use case and to the platform and LDT toolbox to Destination Earth. And uniting is our how. We are using the methodology universal design to create a human-centric solution where the digital twin and AI is enablers or are enablers. Inclusiveness is our why. How about setting a new standard for inclusiveness in an XR environment for Europe? See you is a greeting gesture, a friendly, warm welcome from the city of Gothenburg. Now, with that little introduction, let's start with this one. Click, and let's see if we can get the next slide manually. Yes, okay. So this project level up sessions. We have 3 more planned before it's time for summer vacation. And next Tuesday, we will have a session regarding risk management and quality assurance. And on June 10, we will present our prototype. And then on June 24, we have invited the other Citiverse projects that are in the same call as us. And those are named Sense, 3D Verse, and Excite. And we are happy I think you find them most exciting and will learn so much more about, the Citiverse concept. These sessions in this project level up are recorded and we will publish them externally, mainly on our website. And you are welcome to ask any questions in the chat during the presentation, and we will pick them up and we will end this session with a Q&A. Next slide, let's see. Okay. And also, before I welcome the speaker on board, I just want to remind you about our 4 project objectives of our project then. So first, we have this inclusive digital twin city design. The second one is AI enhanced technical development and service integration. Number 3, strategic communication for project replication and outreach. And the 4th one is development of a sustainable and scalable business model. Now, these all are very important objectives that I want to remind you. And I'll be a little parrot here to remind you guys about these ones on and on. Okay. Now, time for our speaker of today and the topic. It's navigating the future with AI. And this will be an outlook of the current AI trends, assistance strategies, and your role in them shaping this AI journey for the project's intelligent potential. And now we have with us here today is our speaker, Ella Rauma from Younite. And Ella, I leave the word and the presentation to you. Most welcome.
Thanks a lot, and thank you, Anna. Let's see. there and there and there.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
see my screen?
Perfect.
Okay,
Thumbs up and
perfect.
go ahead.
Yes. So, hey, great to get the stage and get to talk to you about such a contemporary topic. So today I'll be discussing how we navigate the future with AI, basically talking a little bit about AI trends and AI agents. And if there's someone online who I haven't met, so I'm Rauma and I'm working as Chief Delivery Officer at Younite. And basically, a lot of my work is to do with AI and of AI business design in particular. So what we're looking at today, first I'll tell a few words more closely about what we do at Younite AI. Then I'll be explaining to you 3 different AI phenomena that we've recognized in our company and kind of like how we view the whole space and those bigger forces that are happening around. Then I'll talk a little bit about AI agents. That's for sure a topic we could dive into for hours and we wouldn't get it through, but just a very a high level overview at this time. Then let's talk a little bit about the differentiation of assistants and agents. And then I'll tell you a few practical use cases of both, just to make it concrete. And then I want to bring it over to the CU project context, all in all. So what is Younite? Basically, we work at the interface of AI and extended reality. We build digital twins and we enrich them with AI applications. We've worked with, or Younite has been since 2017, and we've worked with very different kind of companies from different industries, actually all around the world. And we have offices here in Helsinki and then up north in Oulu and also in New York City. And quite a bit of our revenue actually comes from the States. And that's also where our big growth opportunity is, on top of the Nordics, of course. But okay, so let's jump into the AI phenomena or forces that we see that are happening and emerging. So at first, Gen AI has been a huge topic now ever since OpenAI established ChatGPT. So that kind of was a really concrete tipping point in the industry. But now it's actually seen that we're at the situation where this huge hype is kind of turning from business perspective into the place where actually companies are experiencing that they're not getting business value at the scale. So basically, we're having huge problems globally in turning AI proof of concept initiatives into scaled productized business. So there's a lot. I think probably everyone can relate that there's a lot of proof of concept work going on. There's pilot projects. Also in the Nordics and in many companies. It's kind of the name of the day that we're working on those, but still getting that further, it's the difficulty at the moment. And my take on that is that basically it's not a technology issue. The technology is here. LLMs have the huge potential and opportunity, but also I think it's more about the scaling that actually requires quite a bit of other skills than just that absolute AI and technology. So I gathered from a few different reference points some indicators to what could be causes or kind of root problems or root issues. I think a good point was the under investment in change management. For instance, BCG gave this 10, 20, 70% model as a reference, showing that actually 10% focus on algorithms, 20% on data and technology infrastructure, but actually 70% should be on the change management and workflow transformation. I think that gives a good reference point to what could be the problem, because at least in my experience, having consulted this to many enterprises, it typically is the other way around. I'd say it's easily 70% algorithms. So yeah, because really it's always big change is about people and processes, and that's really the difficulty often. And also in the same line, Accenture reported that they see limited workforce training and development of AI related skills, and that's a big major bottleneck. But also looking at the other kind of infrastructure around it, we can see like governance and trust deficits, and also data readiness and infrastructure challenges. So really, like to sum it up, I'd say it's like people and then the infrastructure and different kind of issues around there that are kind of holding back scale. Then we can jump to our phenomenon number 2, that performance of AI models is growing exponentially. So an association called Model Evaluation and Threat Research, they proposed a new novel metric to assess the AI capabilities. And this actually means that it's called 50% task completion time horizon. And this represents the length of the tasks as measured by the human completion time that AI models can complete with 50% reliability. So this is a way to measure how AI is actually performing. And currently, like AI models excel in those short, well-defined tasks. But once the tasks would be those that are longer, that take longer for human, then the AI isn't excelling anymore. But also what they found is that this performance capacity is growing exponentially. So currently it takes roughly 7 months to double this 50% task completion with artificial intelligence. So what this suggests is that if the exponential growth continues, the amount that AI systems can actually autonomously handle in the future of those tasks and the length of those tasks, it will be like several days or even weeks of human effort within the next few years. And then if we look at the third phenomena, so what does all this mean? So basically we're saying that companies aren't getting business value yet, and they're not finding scale yet. And also we're saying that AI capability is growing with exponential speed. So what this means in the background, we talk about tokens. I'm not sure if you know about tokens, but this is something that Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, talks a lot about, because they're of course a GPU provider. So a token is basically, you can think about Legos. So a token would be a Lego piece, and then when you put together, let's say you build a castle of Legos. The pieces are different size and different color, but they form a whole entity. So basically, tokens in the context of LLMs would be a sentence or a paragraph or even an entire story. So they're kind of this, they're what the compute power processes. And they're like fuel, where the model would be the engine. So AI doesn't understand language in big chunks. It sees these thousands of tiny bricks or tokens and builds its understanding one piece at a time. So that's why you'll probably hear, if you familiarize with the matter, you probably hear quite a lot of talk about tokens, because of course tokens are they're the money here. That's why NVIDIA and OpenAI and the others, they measure everything in tokens per second, tokens per dollar. So basically, we're looking at how efficient can one token be. And I think this is really interesting, because this will in the future also lead to companies budgeting tokens, such as currently nowadays it's normal that we're budgeting cloud storage or API calls. In the future, it's tokens. And basically what it means is more tokens is deeper understanding, and that needs more compute power. And now that we're talking about more compute power, that builds this whole AI economy where we're actually needing more powerful chips, we're needing more data centers, and we're needing more efficient algorithms, because the need for the compute power is only growing. And so what this all means is that actually the token is the most critical unit of measure in AI. And it can determine not just how much intelligence you can afford, but how widely and sustainably AI can scale across your business. And I think all in all, this is a really fascinating matter of actually the demand for processing tokens driving the AI economy, and kind of what happens on the business side, but also what happens in the infrastructure side with the GPU race. Okay, but jumping over to business growth with AI agents. So what are agents then? You've probably all heard about them. They're quite the buzz of the day, and most likely also a great way to gain that business value from generative AI. So basically, AI agents are described to be systems that can plan, act, and adapt over time to achieve complex goals, and often autonomously. So there's a few factors that make agents. It's not all that well defined, but there's the autonomous part, that they make decisions, they take actions, and self-correct is one important part. But also that they're goal-oriented, that they can basically build toward defined outcomes, not just those single prompts, simple single responses. And also that it's context aware, it maintains memory and adapts based on previous steps or the environment. And finally, the tool using is an important part. So it's not just an singular thing, but actually that it calls APIs, it can write the code, access documents, or interact with different software. So basically something that has access to many places around. And currently at this time, the buzz is big around the matter, but actually the current trade-off, in our opinion, is between reliability and multi-usability. So basically, you can increase the reliability by decreasing the agent's autonomy or the usability for many places. So the more broad of an agent you're building, the less reliable it will be, to kind of make it really simplified. So now, when the CU project, when it was starting, we talked about the AI assistant, and we've still been talking about an AI assistant. But now I think the discussion is more towards like, are we actually talking about an assistant or an agent? And I think here also there isn't a single kind of which is which, but here is how I would see it. That kind of, if we're talking about an AI assistant, we're talking about more this like chatbot kind of prompt-based interaction. Whereas the AI agent, it is more this kind of proactive, going towards a goal, making decisions, and kind of this like larger entity. And so if you look at the goal execution for the AI assistant, it's one task at a time, whereas the agent would be multi-step tasks. So kind of you need less human in the loop with the agent than with the assistant. And actually the use cases are also really different, what we'll come to in the upcoming slides. But more autonomy in the agent, or all those external tools, APIs, apps, the business role, you can more think about the AI agent as that teammate or even like process owner. Whereas the assistant is more like support and assistive. And the autonomy level, well, yeah, for the assistant, it's low. It needs input constantly, whereas in the agent context, it's high. And it can self-manage those tasks. So next, I'll tell a little bit about a project that we've built that goes more into the assistant category from an infrastructure or like architecture perspective. So we've built a Story Rabbit, which is a location-based AI-generated storytelling application. You can actually find it on the App Store. So it's made for consumers. And the point of it is that you can it finds you on the map, and it finds these rabbit holes around you, and you can choose your host. So you can decide which kind of there's foodie guide, and there's art guide, and there's also some hosts behind a paywall, which are actually celebrities from LA. And we've cloned the celebrities' voices, licensed those voices with a company called 11 Labs. So actually, we can have those celebrities talking in their own voice. That is actually that we can basically, we could make them say anything, but of course we won't. But so basically, we have their cloned voices speaking about the point of interest that you want to hear. And here you can create your own rabbit holes into those points of interests, and then you can share them in social media also. I really warmly recommend that if you're interested to see how the AI works and how the voices sound, to load the app and go find out, because it's actually, I think it's really astonishing how great stories you can already build with AI, and also how real the voices sound. Well, then if we look at the agent side, here the complexity varies a lot. So maybe you've maybe heard the concept of multi-agent systems. I'd say they are relatively rare still at the moment, but of course there are a lot talked about, and they are being built at this time. But if we start with a simple use case, we can think of a weather chatbot agent. So basically, you would ask the agent, will it rain tomorrow in Paris? And then in its simplicity, it calls the weather API to get the weather. It interprets the query, and then it formats and replies with the forecast for the next day. So it's single task, goal-oriented, real-time tool use. But then looking into that multi-agent use case, here I gave an example of like, okay, I want to plan and execute a product launch campaign. So what the multi-agent means that you have several different agents, AI agents acting together with their own roles, and they are actually also interacting to get that task to happen, to reach that goal. So basically, your agent team is quite close to a person team in this context. So you could have the like strategy agent defining goals, timeline, and channels, and content agent, scheduling agent, customer agent, analytics agents. So really like this cross-functional agent team collaborating, planning, executing, and optimizing autonomously. And personally, I think this is a really fascinating scene, and it's really interesting to see those use cases also popping up in the industries. So perhaps like as my final closing slide, I would like to challenge a little bit that what could AI assistants and agents be in the CU project context. So there's already there's quite good discussions about the AI agents, and that's been taken already further in the concepting level, and I'm sure that will be shared also at some point. But I think it's good to think that like could we perhaps merge digital and physical even more, use AI, and also like bring that like real-time data to the context. Like how do we merge the digital and physical even more in our projects? Yeah, that's actually all from me. So now I guess it's time for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ella. Thank you very much. And we welcome Monica Ek in the screen.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hey.
And thank you so much, Ella.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so now we would like to open up for questions. And Monica, before I monitor and check any questions here, maybe you will go with the first question that you have prepared for Ella. You have something on planned?
Yes, I have. These AI agents or assistants, they can, as you said, plan and act and adapt over time. And I was wondering in our CU project, if that would be the case, or if we are going for more of a more static AI assistant than an developing AI agent. You had some comment about that, but I don't. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the use cases, how it should be developed and defined. So kind of if the use cases are more static, more like this question answer, no integrations, then we could go with the static. But I think what we've had the discussions inside the project also, and to what we hope to go towards is more towards the agents and more towards the like goal oriented larger tasks. And in that sense, I would also vote for that side. And I think it's a really also interesting opportunity to push that forward on this project, because it's such a contemporary topic, and there's so much to explore in the topic. So I would definitely go towards agents and see like where can we integrate and how can we build those new use cases for our users with them.
Yeah, that's great. It's going to be exciting to see what's going to happen when we start working with the AI assistant in CU. So I have another question.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So how can we assure that the development of AI agents contributes to social innovation and inclusiveness rather than reinforcing existing inequalities or creating new ethical dilemmas?
Yeah, this is a good question and a tough question, and I don't think I have all the answers. But I think it all starts with the understanding of what the ethical principles are that we want to underline, because that also helps like how we prompt and how we teach the AI. And I think in that sense we're in a really good place on this project, because we also have so much knowledge on inclusiveness. So it all really starts from understanding and knowing how the end result should be, so then we can also teach the AI better.
Yes. And since our project belongs to the EU AI for societal good, that would be a great way to show them that we are working in line with our guidelines.
Yeah. Maybe you have some more questions there, Monica, but I just want to take in the chat. We have this was a great presentation. Thank you, Ella, that Pirush said from the Netherlands, and Johan, who's the Pauli, who's the VP4 lead, says that you are discussing this to include agents in this prototype Access City. And the work is ongoing, and it's a bit what you refer to as well, that you are talking with this within the. So looking forward to visualize your vision there in a couple of weeks' time, maybe heading for the Nordic Metaverse in Osaka or something. Yes. Okay. But I don't have any more questions. So anyone, if you are, if you have something on your mind, please, write them in the chat bot, and maybe you can take one more question meanwhile, and we see if we get any more questions.
In a lot of technical development projects, it's the same question about how to make the proof of concept to live. So you mentioned that 88% of the AI proof of concepts are not developed at a larger scale. So my question is, what can we do to ensure that the CU falls within the other 22% that lives that survives and lives a bit longer?
I believe here it really comes down to making sure we're building those feasible use cases that will also be used by our target group. So in the end, I say our biggest, and that's why it's really good that this project is also going now to the phase where we're going to do that design prototypes to actually test what those biggest customer needs are. Because like I was emphasizing, it's so much about the people in the end. The technology is here. So I think the biggest thing we can do is on the people side is ensuring those use cases, and of course also making sure we have a well-defined roadmap, and also making sure we have the budget to build that roadmap. So then the data governance and all the other background will fall to place also.
Well, thank you so much. That was my questions, and I think you had really good answers, Ella. So it will be very exciting to follow this AI assistant developing in the coming month.
Yeah.
So Anna, do you have anything to add? Any questions?
No, we don't have any questions from the meeting attendees, but we as we all are project partners, we can of course reach out to Ella individually as well. So with that, I think we close the session for today. And thank you very much, Ella. And as we then say, see you soon.
See you soon.
See you
Thanks
soon,
a lot.
everyone. For today.
Bye.
Bye bye.